Hello guys, it's Alex again, and as you see from the title, this is an anniversary video for a console that we Sega fans love today, and it's sad that it's gone. The Sega Dreamcast. Now I'm re-reviewing this because, well, one, I thought my overview was pretty, and also it's a 12th anniversary, so why not? 12 kind of seems odd, but why not? Anyway, let's take a look at the console so far, what it looks like. And I just dropped this earlier, just to let you know, so it might be a little mashed up. Alright, on the top we have the disc tray with the swirl of the Dreamcast logo, which everyone remembers. We got the power right here. Works pretty fine. On the side we have the open button, and this thing takes the top, this thing takes forever to open. It works fine. Now sometimes Dreamcasts, I don't know if that sounds right, their disc readers might be worn out after a while. I know this one is a little worn because I played Sonic Adventure and there were some differences in the loading times, and sometimes it would freeze. My other Dreamcasts work fine. Yes, I have two. Anyway, here's the power light, and this turns orange when you turn on, which is kind of a weird color for the power on. I want to bring this to a guy to change the LED light to green or blue. You guys in the comments tell me below, what do you think is a cooler color? Green or blue? Alright, on the side we have the fan, and then on the other side we have nothing. And on the back we have the power cord, or power plug-in. Works pretty nice. And a serial plug-in, I don't know what that does. I've never ever heard of anything like that. Then we have the AV, RCA AV cables, whatever you want to call them, a back fan, and a phone cable to go online. Now, if you go on to the back, which has warnings, you can pull this thing off right here, and then you got this little adapter to go online. I think it came with every Dreamcast, but I'm not sure. And you got the big open slot. Now, I never get a Dreamcast without it, because it looks kind of dumb when it opens. So, get a Dreamcast with it. Alright, now that the console's all reviewed, let's go to the controllers. Let's go with the one that I usually use all the time, and I make my friends use the other one because I don't like that one anymore. Alright, this is your typical Dreamcast controller, but this one is blue swirl. I think it's a European version or whatever, or a PAL version, sorry. But anyway, we got the analog stick, which works really good. Now, on my other controller, the studs are pretty worn out, but this one's relatively new. I got it back in December of 2010, so, I mean, it's about almost half a year old, whatever, 6 months old. But it works pretty good. For the most part, it's really nice, but it's hard plastic, so your finger will slip off it a lot, or your thumb, sorry. I don't really know people that play it like this. Okay. Down here, we have the D-pad, which is also made of a hard plastic, and I can see myself through that big gaping hole. But yeah, this hard plastic, it's a little slippery, but it works fine. It does what it does. It's better than the Xbox 360 D-pad because it has this, not a big piece of plastic stuck on it. Now you got your A, B, X, Y buttons. They work pretty dang well, and if you look at this from this angle, the B button's out a little bit more than the A and Y buttons, but the X button's pretty far in. I don't know why, I think so it could even up correctly, but whatever. Then there's the start button, works fine. I like this big line crease in here. It's like a big circle, like 3D. Yeah, it ain't fucking around. And it's actually based off the Sega Saturn 3D controller, which I think might work. I think it works better on the Sega Saturn than the actual Dreamcast controller. Alright. On the back, we have the L and R triggers. They work pretty well. Your hands just fit really well into the controller. It's a really well designed controller, I think. Now, a little cool feature about this. See that right there, the big open part? Take your the cord here, which is not supposed to hang down here because that's kind of weird for controllers. The Wii Classic controller does it, but whatever. Take it, hold it tightly, you can clip it into there, and then the controller's not in your way anymore. Yay! Good job, Sega. And that's that controller. And then here's the other one. It's pretty much the same thing, but it has a different color, but the back doesn't change. And this one is a red swirl. That's what the North America got. And Canada, eh? So, also two other cool things about this are the infamous VMUs. Revolutionary. Xbox had memory cards like this, but they don't have a screen, bitches. We do. Not we, Sega did. Derp. Says Dreamcast on the top. I know this isn't the actual normal memory card, or VMU. They're usually gray, just like the Dreamcast. Dreamcast had multiple colors in Japan though, so we didn't get anything. Got D-pad and B button, a sleep and a mode button. You can change the day, you can play little mini games on here. Basically, pretty much, it's like a portable, I don't know what you call it, just some portable thing. Then there's the slot input to put it in your controller. Also, while you're playing games on your Sega Dreamcast and you have this plugged in, you can see little in-game pictures. Pretty cool, right? Sonic Adventure 1, 2 actually have pretty cool pictures. Sonic Adventure 1, depending on what you do, the chow on the little VMU will like try to reenact what you're doing, depending on what you're doing. It's kind of weird. Sonic Adventure 2, if you're playing as a certain character, it'll show their picture while you're playing it. Pretty dang cool. Now, put it in the back, which looks kind of lame, and you can put it in the front, so you can see the picture. That's cool. Now, that doesn't hold too much space, so you can get that if you want, but I recommend getting this. This is a mega memory card. This holds up to 800 blocks. Okay, I think that's what it is. Does it say it? No, it doesn't. Anyway, this has a lot of memory, and it's a little bit bigger than the actual VMU. So I recommend getting this. It's not too expensive, about $20, which is like crazy. But now the way it does hold it is because, or how it does is that it doesn't just save on one big screen on the memory card menu. It has 4 different slots. Now you can save slots on file number 1. Say it runs out of data, or run out of space, you just change it to number 2. Runs out of that. 3. Runs out of that. 4, you get the idea. Now, the way you want to switch to each one is, don't have this plugged into your controller while it's, while you want to change your thing. Because when you're on the memory card menu and you want to switch to your other file, don't change it while it's in there, because the screen will glitch and it won't load properly. Don't worry, your thing doesn't get corrupt. So, while you want to switch, take it out, switch it, and put it back in. And hold on one second, I forgot one more accessory. Okay, I'm back. Now, what kind of controller isn't complete without some kind of rumble function, or rumble pack, or the force pack, whatever this says on the box. This is made by Mad Cats, and that's when they made good stuff. Yes, I have the box, but whatever. The manual and the original casing. Here is my rumble pack. It's freaking huge. I put it in here. It just topples over the controller. Now, pretty cool thing about this is, it's not just a generic rumble pack. To let you know it's working when it rumbles, or whenever it's supposed to, a big red light will appear in this big red area here to let you know it's rumbling, and this thing is pretty dang powerful too. So you might want to get one with this. So yeah, it looks pretty cool in there too. It looks odd, but it makes the controller freaking heavy. Now anyway, let's move this. Now I'll show you the games I recommend you get, and there's some other ones I can think of, but I don't remember if I can name them off correctly. First one is one of the best games on there, and the best game ever in this franchise, Sonic Adventure 2. The best Sonic game ever made that's 3D. I know people will argue with that, but I don't think many people would. some say Adventure 1 was better. I mean, I like them both equally. Anyway, this game is a fantastic game. I recommend you get it, because if you don't, you'll regret it in a way. I'd recommend getting the GameCube port for like better gameplay and stuff, because it's an improved version and the Child Gardens actually work better. And this one is just for nostalgia reasons, so go ahead. And if you get 180 emblems, you get a little surprise. And I think this is going to be released on Xbox Live and PSN soon. Now, next game. One of the games I showed you a long time ago, if you ever saw it. Virtua on Oratorio Tangram. Actually, Cybertroop was Virtua on Oratorio Tangram. That takes, or I'll just say Virtua on OT. Now, this is a great robot fighting game, a sequel to the one on the Sega Saturn, which was also a great game. I'm surprised they didn't do anything with this series in a long time. It's kind of disappointing. I'd probably crap my pants if they made a new one. I know there is one on Xbox Live, but can't beat the original. I mean, you can go online, but whatever. And this one of the other best Sonic games ever made for 3D, Sonic Adventure. Yes, I have this Sega All-Stars version. I mean, it was there. It was about 10-15 bucks. I had to get it. Also, it's another great game. I mean, I recommend you get it. The Sonic Adventure DX port is pretty good on the GameCube, sorry. That's the port it's on. It's a pretty good version. Models are updated, but there's a few more glitches in that game that, you know, screw it up. It's also on Xbox Live and PSN if you don't want to, you know, go buy a Dreamcast and play this. So, get it. And a great RPG that doesn't get the, you know, the attention it deserves, and it should be a sequel to Skies of Arcadia. A great RPG on the Sega Dreamcast and was ported to the GameCube, and there was a PS2 port, but it got cancelled, which would have given it better sales because the PS2 dominated. It's like about the pirate day. Our fiddly day. We get to play as some pirates. Actually, Sky Pirates. Great RPG. I haven't beaten it yet, and getting the game alone is pretty expensive, about 40-50 bucks. And this is old used. It comes with just one disc. It's a big game. I haven't even finished the first disc yet, but 2 discs. The GameCube version only has 1 disc, I think, because it has more space. Both ports are pretty expensive because it wasn't really known about. Another game that didn't get the attention it deserved, and it's a wonderful game too, Shenmue. Now, when I first played this game, I didn't think it was that good. I mean, the graphics are really good from back in time, and they still hold up pretty well today. But at first I didn't like it, but once I got farther in it, sorry, I started to love it. The storyline was getting better, and there was a sequel that never got over to America on the Dreamcast, but we got the Xbox port, and the control layout's exactly the same, but I don't have an original Xbox, and frankly, playing on the Xbox 360 is not, you know, the same. It just doesn't work right. Another game I recommend, one that actually got a sequel sometime this year, Phantasy Star Online. Sadly, you cannot go online anymore with this game, but it's still a great game to play offline. I mean, it's still pretty cool seeing the online stuff it has, like it's a weird scratch. Oh, sorry. The cool features is when you pause it, which is kind of a pain in the ass, it never actually pauses the game. You have to get to some kind of safe point or whatever, or some safe area, and you can pull up a keyboard and just like type in letters or words, whatever, and you'll just say your character will have a little thing on his head, and it's kind of useless, but it's pretty cool to have the internet thing in mind overall. Now, 2 of Capcom's best 3D fighter games ever made, and Capcom sucks today, so whatever. First one is Power Stone. I know many Power Stone fans and Capcom fans, because they suck now, love this game to death, and it's really expensive. This one's about $30-$40 with everything. I'm just lucky to get it like this. A great 3D beat 'em up game. Sadly, it's only it's only 2 players. And that's pretty cool. 2 players can fight at the same time and beat the hell out of each other. It's a good fighting game. You know, pretty good arcade style, and there's some secret characters. And you can play VMU minigames on there. I never actually got the chance to because they take up a crap load of space. Especially a Sonic Adventure 2, like Cow Garden and stuff. So I wouldn't recommend it if you don't have many. If you have many games, then don't worry about it. If you only have like 1 or 2 games, go ahead and try it out. Now, the sequel to the best 3D fire game on the Dreamcast, Power Stone 2. Yes, there's no manual. I was so pissed about that because I thought I actually got it. Because I'm a nerd and I need everything with the manual perfect. No, this game is a great improvement. I mean, it's a good game, but it kind of caught me off guard how different it was. And the background, the stages are so interactive. It's freaking amazing. It even costs like $60 brand new, or not brand new, used. This one doesn't go to 2 players. It goes up to freaking 4 players. So you get massive mayhem. So you and a friend can go co-op on the campaign or adventure, whatever you want to call it, and you know, fight the other 2 CPUs. But it kind of sucks when your player 2 dies and then you can't come back until like the next batch, or if you die. So that's a weird little problem. A Sega classic that's in the arcades and got ported to your home console and it's re-released on the Wii, House of the Dead 2. Horrible voice acting, but it's legendary and the game is wonderful today. I don't have the gun that you can get for it, sadly, but I might as well try to find it. The controller works pretty good too, and you can use the arcade stick, which actually is pretty dang expensive. If you want to get the green one, or I forget what it's like, it's a big one, about the size of this table I'm on. But I got to get that eventually. I think it's like $80. Who wants to play some Crazy Taxi? And there's a second one I don't have, which I want to get eventually. Great arcade port, really good. And I recommend you get it, and you can get it on Xbox Live and PSN right now. If you have Xbox, which is actually a pretty cool thing, you can get the Dreamcast collection, which has Sonic Adventure, Space Channel 2, which was never released over here, Sega Bass Fishing, or Pro Bass Fishing, whatever you call it, and then there's Crazy Taxi. So, yeah, those are the games I have that I recommend. There are a few more up there I didn't show, but like, I'll tell you what I recommend. There's Sega GT, a great racing game. Nothing else really. And I have a web browser game up there. It's kind of useless now, but it's pretty cool to have. There are private servers you can go on to play Dreamcast online, but really, I don't really want to go to the trouble of doing that because it's a pain in the ass, and I don't have. I wish it ran off an Ethernet cable because I don't really have a phone cable to hook it up to my phone. It probably costs some money, maybe? I don't know. What was I going to say? Oh yes, now we got the prices. The prices for the Sega Dreamcast alone is about $25. Just the console alone in a good condition. Let me tell you this. I already said I have 2 Dreamcasts. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. This one right here I'm holding, the one that doesn't have a really great display, but it reads all my games perfectly fine. Sometimes it'll freeze, but never mind. It works great. I got this at a yard sale for $3. $3, yes, $3. With Sonic Adventure, WFC Fighting, just some stupid wrestling game, and the web browser. I was just like, I looked down there, had all the cords, I just looked at them like, must get. But it was all dirty and crap, but I cleaned it up. It looks pretty dang good now. It was really dirty. Alright. Now, say you want the Dreamcast with the cords. Probably about $35. Want the Dreamcast with the cords, controller, and a VMU. Probably around $50, $55. So it's not too expensive, I think. I checked it earlier today. I don't remember exactly. That's right around where it's at. You got Amazon, eBay, PlayAsia.com, just basically anywhere you can look that sells Sega stuff. So that's a Sega Dreamcast. A much better review, I think, than I did last time. Oh, before I even go, there are multiple not attachments, but accessories you can get for it, besides the gun and the other things I showed you. There's the arcade stick, which I mentioned earlier. There's the fishing controller for the, you know, bass fishing game. There's the, I think it's a wheel. Yeah, there's a race controller wheel, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty cool. there's this thing for a game called Seaman. Insert joke here, alright? Yeah, the game is pretty weird. It's like a virtual, like, pet thingy. I don't remember how it works. It's pretty weird. So, yeah, it works pretty cool, and there's a bunch of accessories for it. And then the best one that you needed for online, the Sega Net keyboard. Yes, the Dreamcast had its own keyboard. No other console had that, and no other console ever did, except for the Odyssey 2. And no one even remembers that one, except for the really old gamers. I mean, I know about it because I'm a classic gamer. But other than that, it's the only like awesome console to have its own keyboard, and it had a mouse. I don't know any console that had its own mouse. Okay, I know consoles have their own keypad, but really, a mouse and a keyboard. How freaking awesome is the Dreamcast? Okay. Well, this is the 12th anniversary for the Sega Dreamcast. This will be uploaded on September 9th, 2011. And also, it was in June, but this year is the 20th anniversary for Sonic the Hedgehog. Coming out with Sonic Generations November 1st. And 10 years after Sonic Adventure 2, the greatest 3D Sonic game ever made. So, happy 12th anniversary Sega Dreamcast, which is kind of a weird date to do an anniversary on, but first time ever doing an anniversary on a console. And happy anniversary Sonic, 20th anniversary Sonic the Hedgehog. This is Alex, and I am signing out.